Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our TED Talk about writing. This is Ape Escape 3, and the story is awesome. I'm your host, Master Reki Wills, joined as always by Galuf Black Mage.
Yo, what's up?
That
I
intro.
was saying this off camera, but I actually just wanted to say it on camera too. That I'm just like, there is a limit to how much you really conceivably could plan things out in advance. Especially when you talk about like long-running mangas or long-running game series, stories that are being told over years. It's like they could not have planned out every single detail before they started getting some of this stuff published.
Yeah, they never would have started. Who was I talking to? I don't remember who I was talking to, but someone was telling me about a documentary that has been in the making for like 10 years. I think it was my dad yesterday when we were at Father's Day dinner. And it was like, it's taking 10 years because this guy is changing a line or a take or something constantly. Like,
Oh no.
yeah, he's like, it needs to be perfect and or exactly the way I envisioned it. Yeah, well, good luck.
Perfectionism is
It's a killer.
rough.
As they always say, you can't edit a blank page.
Yeah. I've been there on perfectionism stuff. It's rough.
Yeah. It's actually something we have to train, because I work with autistic students a lot and learning disabilities. Something we have to train those students to ignore, because they will be very perfectionist about it, and we're like, no, like, just go. You just have to make it better later, or not worry about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, with writing a story, I did get to have the experience of like how much of a better and just more fun too approach it is to just like, if you have the story ideas and the dialogue, like if you've got a flow going, to just follow it and just get like the scene done or get however much just like finished and like just enjoy that process, and then you can go back and look over it later to see if there's things you want to adjust or reword.
That was my philosophy when I finished my novel, was like, I'm just gonna write a little bit every day. It might be 100 words, it might be 3,000 words, and that was literally the difference sometimes. But I'm gonna write a little bit every day, and I'm just gonna keep going forward, and I'm not gonna worry too much about fixing things unless it's like to add a detail to foreshadow something that I came up with later, or a necessary world building point. And I'm just gonna keep going forward until I'm done. And it might be shit. Who knows? But it might be shit, but like, it's done. And I can fix it later. Like, I distinctly remember, because that novel is 101,000 words, 102, I think. And it's like 36 chapters, I think. I don't remember. Might be more. I remember around like chapter 20, I was like, man, I actually can't tell if this is good or not. And this is a common thing when you're making things, is you are too close to the thing you're making, you can never tell if it's actually good. That's why it's good to get feedback.
Yeah, no, that's whether you're writing a story, making music, making a video, drawing art, that it's always that, just like, you can think your thing is shit and it's actually good.
And vice versa.
Or you can just not know if it's good or not.
Yeah, like, I literally couldn't tell you if it was good or not when I was writing it. But around like chapter 20, I'm like, I gotta get people to read part of this or something, because I'm pouring my heart and soul into this, and it might actually be bad. So, people liked it, thank God. I can't tell if the gaslighting me though. But I liked it.
And you brought up vice versa, which is also true. For some people, it can be the, like, thinking something is good and perfect, and, well, it's not. But
Although we just jumped back into this conversation, even though for the video it's been like a week or more.
A week, yeah. Oh, hey, we're just talking about, like, we're talking about different things within the same sphere.
Yeah. Just go back and rewatch last week's video.
It is so hard to find a good balance of, like, judging your own work, because, like, thinking your stuff is perfect and thinking your stuff is bad are can both be really, like, destructive, hindering viewpoints.
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm just giving up on worrying about it. Or at least I try not to. I still do. I'm just like, just go. Just write. Just make. Draw, I guess. I don't know. I can't draw to save my life or make music. Writing.
Yeah, I think it is a pretty decent philosophy to just, like, get the thing basically, like, finished to a point where you could just, like, show it to people, and then, like, and then if you want to go over it and make the, like, adjustments or fixes, you can. But at least, like, at least it's done.
Yeah.
Which I did do with, like, a short... I've never written anything novel length. I did write, like, a short story, and I did, like, go back over it and spent probably more... I might have spent more time editing that story than I did writing it, but at least it was, like, finished, and, like, I could have actually, like, just called it good any time from there.
To this day, I wrote that novel. I never published it or got it professionally edited or anything, because although I think that could be cool, I don't really have the drive for it.
Yeah.
But I wrote that novel like 3 years ago, I guess. God, time flies, huh? To this day, every time I go back to reference it, because it's also the basis for a setting of D&D game that I'm running, I will inevitably find something to change. It might be quality net neutral, but it's like, nah, fuck this wording, nah, fuck this example, change this line, swap these lines or sentences ordered back and forth, I don't know. Nothing is ever perfect when it comes to creating things.
It's absolutely true.
That might be
something can be subjectively perfect, but I don't think it can be objectively perfect.
Yeah. I think spending the time making stuff is a big reason why I'm more interested and more engaged by stories and games and movies that are going for something, even if they kind of suck ass in a lot of ways. Princess Judy. Like, sure, Final Fantasy 15 might not be the best Final Fantasy, but it's the best Final Fantasy. Fucking... Same thing for Boktai. Like, I'm well aware that those games are kind of a mess in a bunch of ways, but they got fucking heart, man.
Yeah. Here I go. Sincere storytelling is my preference, definitely. I just played a game that had a line about, like, irony and kind of, like, self-doubt being a thing that poisons stories.
Is this a Delta Rune
self-doubt
reference?
in the sense of, like, approaching something where you just kind of make fun of your own story within it instead of, like, just telling it with genuine heart.
This is a Delta Rune thing? It sounds familiar, but I can't remember.
Maybe.
I used to, like...
That's...
What's up?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, slightly off topic. I've been... Because I played Delta Rune when the Switch 2 came out. That was my launch title. Blasted. I didn't much care for Undertale personally. I liked it from a distance, and I would watch playthroughs of it, but I didn't like playing it. And a lot of times the writing it felt kind of up its own ass to me. But after playing Deltarune, like, my my opinion has changed in that I've come to appreciate how earnest that writing is. Or how sincere, like, all of the crappy jokes and weird ironic tweeness.
Mm-hmm.
For that, yeah, I don't know exactly what the point is, but we kind of get the idea of it. It's good
it's
now.
Not like,
I like it.
It's not your... Some of it is really not your vibe and sense of humor, but you appreciate the earnestness of it.
Yeah, but I appreciate it so much that it kind of is my vibe now. I'd have to go back and play Undertale to see if I feel the same way, if it's just Deltarune specifically.
They do have different vibes.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I like stuff that's earnest, even when it's like, even when you can say that it's like, you could say it's dumb or cringe or whatever. It's like, I prefer freaking Sonic Adventure 2 storytelling to like,
yeah,
haha, everything's a joke storytelling.
Which is how Undertale felt to me the first time around.
So much for Monkey Pink. That makes a nice end to her career too.
I should go get a cookie.
Like, everything is self-aware, and it's not taking itself seriously, even. Which is kind of what some of the Sonic games devolved to, since I used that specific example. And they've come back out of that, but they were, like, doing that for a bit, and that was kind of not my favorite vibe.
Hmm. Can't think of any other examples off the top of my head of like super earnest going for it at the expense of literally everything that is conventionally good. Like I would say Final Fantasy IX, but that game's also just conventionally good.
You feel Kingdom Hearts maybe dips into that a bit?
A little bit, but I don't want to say anything nice about Kingdom Hearts.
I meant like that it dips a little bit into just like bad or going too far with its stuff, because like I think the big thing about Kingdom Hearts has always been that it is very earnest, which is why I liked it. Like,
this monkey taking a shit.
Yeah, it's freaking Goofy and Donald and Mickey Mouse alongside Final Fantasy and some anime characters, and everything is just told with completely sincere emotion. We don't give a shit how goofy it looks.
I think that's like Kingdom Hearts is the example of what can go wrong if that's what you're going for. Because I don't know.
Except that it actually works for a lot of people, including myself up to a point.
No more toileting for you, monkey. Yeah, I mean, like, go back to my Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 and 3 Death March streams. You can definitely see my opinion of kind of all aspects of Kingdom Hearts shift as I played through those games again, but eh.
I just will always prefer the main point for me, like the topic we're talking about, is like I will always prefer like genuine, sincere heart in storytelling to just kind of like not taking yourself seriously and making fun of your own story in universe.
I think making fun of your own stuff is very different from just not caring and going for it. Self-awareness can very easily become like irony poisoned.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, is like the irony poisoning thing is kind of like what I have never really cared for in stories. Like, if you're just going for a pure comedy anyway, then sure, it can be like it can be funny. It can get tiring, but like a bit of it can be funny. But I'm never going to appreciate those stories as much as like the stories that actually have genuine heart and are trying to do something emotionally. Even if it ends up like not being super good, it's still like more engaging.
Still more engaging, but Kingdom Hearts still sucks. Just gotta put that out there. People gotta know.
I mean, God, there's plenty of stories you can point to that are sincere and like their stuff. Like, God, I would never have loved the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games as much as I did if they hadn't just been like sincere stories.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm Setsuna. There's an example. It's going for a singular idea. And it works. At the detriment of all else, it works.
It works from a story perspective and not from other perspectives, I guess.
It works from a vibes perspective.
I need to see more of that game.
Yeah. I wonder in what format you could see more of that game.
Maybe someday.
Maybe someday. If people are ever confused about what we're talking about, I think a very easy way to distinguish if a game is earnestly just going for it is the pace of dialogue and story. Or like a game that's just going for it, there's a lot of characters not really questioning things too hard and just being like, nah, this is it. Whatever the situation is, I accept it 100%. Yes, and... Thanks, Monkey Buddha.
And I mean, sometimes you can do a little bit of the jokey nod stuff to haha, this is a video game, or haha, this is weird, and like that stuff gets old, but you can get away with a little bit of it and still, like, as long as you're mostly taking the story seriously.
Yeah, if you, the writer, are laughing at your own whatever, your characters can't. Please!
Should've used the car.
Oh shit! I forgot the car existed. I was like, oh, it goes down when I leave the thing. I must go faster, obviously.
Got so wrapped up in talking about writing and appreciating stories.
Yep. I'm about to throw this fucking controller. Game sucks.
Oh no.
The camera.
Speedrunning.
The camera turned.
Oh, it brought you back. Oh, that sucks.
That was an invisible wall. I was actually stuck there. Did you see that?
I thought you were gonna fall. Ah.
Hold on, I gotta break some of these pots for the hope of a cookie. Oh, it's the opposite of a cookie!
Oh my god.
Oh, nice. Okay. Worth it. Oh, wait. Let me transform. I need out. There's some bullshit happening.
Sometimes I feel like I reference the same, like, 5 video games, but god, you know what I just randomly thought of when I saw that monkey with the, like, triangular-ass sunglasses?
Yeah?
Bomberman 64. Which is why I say sometimes I feel like I reference the same 5 video games.
But there are only 4 video games. Ape Escape, 1, 2, 3, and Million Monkeys. Oh, you bitch! I ain't going back. Alright, we got a couple monkeys in here to catch. Oh.
I will say about, like, story stuff and, like, the irony poisoning we were talking about too, though. I guess one thing to consider, though, is, like, different people are different. And there are just kind of, like, straight-up people who kind of have an inability to really get genuinely engaged with, like, a fictional story. So in such cases, I feel like for them, like, just, like, really irony-laden stuff is probably, like, stuff that's just trying to be funny is probably preferable to stuff that's trying to be emotionally earnest.
It could be. However, they are also wrong.
Yeah, this area is really cool. This is one of the things I feel like with the Ape Escape games. This was something I actually felt a little bit with the first game when I played through it to get the rest of the monkeys. I'm like, you know, there are some cool parts of these levels that you miss when you just kind of catch all the monkeys in your sight and then get immediately warped out of the level.
It's almost like they shouldn't automatically warp you out of the level.
Yeah, right? That is the one, like, thing that I think is just a genuine kind of design flaw.
If they were worried about it, they could have just put a dialogue option that's like, hey, do you want to leave?
Well, that was just awesome.
Next, meme, please. 1, 2. Missing 5 out of there. 1, 2. 5 stages and a boss. Let's go.
Oh no, the Wario monkey.
It'll be fine. Trust.
Oh yeah, this stage.
I don't like this stage. Not one bit. That's not true. I like parts of it. Where are you? Somewhere annoying to get to, probably.
Oh, I think this topic has mostly run its course, but there was one thing I realized I was gonna say earlier that I just remembered that I didn't. Which is, like, when we were talking about how, like, you could only conceivably plan so much in advance with, like, really long-running stories. Like, I was gonna mention, it has been hard confirmed, like, in interviews that, like, Nomura did not plan everything out. Like, I think it was specifically mentioned that, like, you know what, I don't want to say that because I'm not completely sure, so instead what I will say is, the thing I am completely sure of is that, like, when he was writing Kingdom Hearts 2, he was thinking of, he was also starting to think about, like, things that would happen in, like, 358 Days Over 2 and Birth by Sleep. Which means at that point in time, like, Union Cross, Dream Drop Distance, Kingdom Hearts 3, all of that shit had, like, no plans yet.
But Galuf, that just means he had them planned out beforehand, so he didn't need to think about them. The word people are looking for is contrivance. Sometimes you just need to come up with something. And as long as it makes enough sense, it's good enough. Even though it doesn't actually serve the story to be the way it is. As long as it exists and has a reason for existing.
Also, things called, like, tropes, or in some cases you could call them cliches, it's not always a bad thing to use them just because they've been done a lot of times.
Yep. Stereotypes and cliches and stuff lets you attach to a character faster. And you can develop them later. But it's a lot easier to be like, this guy is the lovable musclehead with a heart of gold, than it is to be like, this guy is this deep and very generous soul who cares about XYZ, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then be like, also he's a goofball. Get me out of here, man!
Missiles for days.
Ah. Got him.
Defeat them with a magical girl transformation.
Deserved. Upstairs. Oh, I vaguely remember. Is this the level where we go to the weird factory?
I don't think so.
People try blue! Turn you into glue. Probably a good place to use the ninja. Oh, load times.
I think there was a ninja path on... No, maybe that was a different... Maybe that was a different
There
path.
was one earlier I went on. It's my favorite iteration of ninja, which is cool spinny shit.
Acrobatics.
Yep. Is your character cool as shit? They are allowed to be a ninja. Bang from Blaze Blue.
Bang Shishigami.
Oh, okay, I am leaving. Goodbye.
God, Heaven Burns Red has a ninja character who is clearly from the Naruto school of ninjaing, but like not in like a not in too much of a literal direct sense, but I'm just saying that because like literally she's supposed to be a ninja, but she likes to stand out. She wants attention.
Oh, yep. That's a good trope too. Two aesthetics that it's like Oreo cup or not Oreo cups, Reese's cups, peanut butter and chocolate. That you don't think are going to go together, but absolutely do. Are hip hop and ninjas.
I don't know if I'm familiar with the example of those two going together. What is that?
Technically it's samurais, but Samurai Champloo is kind of your like default.
Ah, okay.
But oh, I forgot the name's character or the character's name. Fucking Japanese circle of vengeance there. In Street Fighter 6, I think her name is Kimberly. She is a rap ninja. There's also in Honkai Star Rail, there's Rappa. Oh yeah, I do have to actually cross this, don't I? Okay, as long as the camera doesn't turn, we're all good. Nice. Goodbye. Oh, mistakes were made. Jump off the edge. Okay, don't go anywhere. Don't shoot me with missiles. Idiot should have shot me with missiles. Will this ship crash when this guy's done running in his wheel? Let's find out.
We'll never find out because he's the last one.
I like that he doesn't run away.
He can't.
Salute for the boy.
It's probably fine.
Well, that
They had enough power stored up to land somewhere.
Would have been really cool if there was an alternate start to the next stage where you're on the ship and it's crashing. Okay, 10 monkeys.
Or just you're in the stage and the ship has crashed into it, like Mega Man X style.
Yep. Oh, that's a good song. I will now not listen to the song.
I was just thinking about, like, you're talking about, well, we were talking about Undertale and Deltarune earlier, and if I'm thinking about it, I feel like a major change in the way, like, the approach of how Deltarune is written, at least from my memory, because it has been, like, a long time since I saw Undertale also. But I feel like with Undertale, a lot of the more, like, genuine emotional core of it, unless you're, like, going and, like, actually killing some of the characters for, like, sad things to happen, I feel like a lot of the emotional core of that story really just kind of gets thrown in at the end. Whereas Deltarune is working in an amount of its heart from, like, the very beginning.
Well, Deltarune is also the game that I think Toby Fox said he was always planning to make. I think I remember reading that Undertale, he was planning like this big RPG, but Undertale was not it.
Huh. I don't know too much about that stuff.
I just remember what I remember hearing or reading recently. But I can kind of imagine why or how that could be the case if you like look in the names of the OSTs for certain characters. There's a song in Undertale it only plays in certain contexts revolving around Sans. I don't remember what it is. No, please. The song is called It's Raining Somewhere Else.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a song in Deltarune that plays in Chapter 4, I guess?
Yeah. Well, there's a whole thing also, like... I know he did backport some stuff a little bit, or backdoor some stuff into Undertale, because I think one thing that I remember, like... being added to Undertale later. Like it wasn't there originally. Or maybe I'm just completely remembering this wrong, but I could swear it wasn't there at first release.
Could
was
be.
like that there's a photo hidden in Undertale somewhere of like 3 heroes with the words "Don't forget," which is very clearly like a Deltarune reference.
Yeah.
That I don't think was actually in Undertale originally.
I don't remember if this was on camera or between episodes, but when I was saying like, oh, there's so much shit you just can't change once you publish it, it's canon now. Not with video games.
Update patches.
Yep, not anymore.
As long as you don't go too crazy, because
Yeah,
I mean, that's like that's just a little tucked away like Easter egg somewhere, which is a little different from like say going and rewriting major portions of the story in an update patch.
I swear there's a game that did that. People were like, Final Fantasy 15 got so much better with the patches. They rewrote everything. I'm like, no, they didn't. But they did add some stuff. Little bits here and there. Okay, there's very clearly something in there, but I don't remember how to get there. And this is, yeah, zoned out. So not what I want.
I could definitely see though how Undertale would have come about first, even if he had other plans in mind instead, though, just from the sheer fact of like it's a scope thing. I mean, God, you don't want to make something like Deltarune as your first game. Look how many years it's taking to come out. It's like you gotta make something smaller scale when you're learning these tools and these things, and just so you actually have something finished out in the world.
Yeah, and also just what makes a good game. Okay, I'm confused. Cause the monkey's here, but it's not glowing with a face, which means it's not in this zone.
Oh, this is that stage that has, like, you can go inside different buildings and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, that's later.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like there's a second hidden thing. Unless there's a secret room in here?
Not in here.
Is there an underground here? That door opens, obviously.
How door open? It is the shape of like a jar. Oh, the genie.
Oh, fuck. You're so right. Probably.
I still don't quite understand, but it's definitely like that shape.
Yeah. I can make people dance. Maybe the Kung Fu one? I'm confused. Maybe I come back. We'll try.
Yeah, that could be like a shortcut back or something.
Game sucks. Trans icon. Bonk. Let's go this way. Wait, is this where I came from? It is. Damn it. Descend the mountain to join the city. This seems out of place too, I don't know. Suspicious of everything now.
All we can do is move on, I guess.
But I can't move on until I solve it, because you never know.
What if the solve is just that that door opens from, like, somewhere else? A whole different zone?
Then I'll never find out. Oh, why did I pick the genie? I'm stupid. I meant to pick the ninja. Oh, which way did we go? We went in here, right? And I left a couple guys to fight over pudding or something.
Oh, yeah. I forget which things it was. Each one of them, like, preferred a different food.
It was like ramen or rice.
Something like that.
Just climb up, I guess.
Mega cookie.
Nope, not just to climb up. I'll probably get there from the other thing. Oh, hey. When did that get there?
Been there all along.
Probably has.
I mean, you wouldn't see it when you come into the building.
That's probably easier if I used literally any transformation, but...
Yeah, this works fine.
Blasted. Oh, come on. Let me up!
Momentum-based platforming.
Bro.
Actually, that's not momentum. That's just that's a fixed movement pattern.
Yeah. Get Chun lead. Block master. Not in this universe.
Playing mahjong with a few robots.
This would be the most annoying dive kick in fighting games.
Yeah.
Specifically because of how it changes your aerial momentum. That shit's annoying. This looks like I'm circling back to the place I was at. Show me where I want to be. The grimy, dusty back streets of Hong Kong, maybe.
Yep.
There's nothing quite like the rundown, beat-up Asian street circa 1970, 1980, man. That, like, CD underbelly tone is so good. Dark Master.
Dark Master.
I suppose that's why
Oh, you're really missing the guy who's drying laundry.
I guess that's where he was. He was in the fucking monastery this whole time. Yeah, that's part of why I also like old gangster movies. It's just such a good vibe.
Yeah.
But this specific setting is extremely up my alley. Put me in Kowloon any day.
I was thinking about Kowloon when you're talking about this. I heard a little bit about that because of a video on a game based on like Kowloon City.
Which game? I think I know what one you're talking about, but I don't remember.
It's like some really trippy game. What was it even called? Was it just Kowloon? Hold on. I can actually find this out.
I must know.
Really impressive performance there.
Kowloon's Gate.
I don't think I knew it, actually. Alright,
This is
that'll...
a very out there game.
Fair enough. That'll do it for this episode of Let's Play Ape Escape. Next time we finish the game, probably. Peace.
Hopefully.